Okay, let's unpack this. We're launching into a really interesting deep dive today
Yeah, we've got some great source material.
based on this fantastic stack of sources, really. And it's all centered around a pretty honest conversation between two friends, Hannah and David.
Hmm.
They're grappling with some big life choices, where to live, how to handle setbacks.
Really fundamental stuff.
Yeah.
And what's great is, the chat is casual, but the insights, they're quite profound.
Exactly. So we're kind of shortcutting to the core wisdom here on balance, commitment, resilience.
All distilled from their dialogue. So our mission really is to take these conversational nuggets and make them actionable for you.
And we kick off with the dilemma pretty much everyone thinks about at some point, the geography of value.
Right.
Where do you want to be? Is it village life or city life?
That age-old question.
So if you're listening now, maybe just take a second. Think about your own life. What are you trading? Speed and convenience, maybe. Or is it connection and peace?
And the sources, they present this choice not as like a competition,
Yeah.
more like a study in trade-offs.
The classic pros and cons list, basically.
Exactly. It's all about what you're willing to give up to gain something else.
Okay, so let's start with David's view. He's the village guy in this conversation.
Right.
He comes back from his hometown, this small place near some hills, and he just says it felt like heaven.
Yeah. And he digs into why.
What specifically made it feel that way? What were those elements?
Well, he really focuses on the sensory experience, the calm, the peace, quiet nights, actual fresh air.
Sounds nice.
But the detail that really jumped out, for me anyway, was the sound.
Hmm.
He said he wasn't hearing car horns or traffic noise. He was hearing birds.
Wow. Yeah, that small detail says a lot, doesn't it?
It really does. It speaks volumes about that kind of constant low-level stress in cities that you might not even notice until it's gone.
And the village just strips that away. What about the people side?
Ah, yeah, the social glue. He found that incredibly restorative.
How so?
Well, life is simple there, he said, because people know each other. Everyone says hello. There's this sort of built-in recognition, connection.
That sounds like a powerful antidote to the kind of isolation you can sometimes feel.
It is. The village promises a life where you feel, seen.
Okay, but there's always a but, right?
Always. As we said, trade-offs. There's a price.
And for David.
His major drawback, missing good internet.
Right. And this brings us to that concept you mentioned, the price we pay for peace.
Exactly.
Now, it's easy to just brush that off. Oh, he misses Netflix, but it's more than that, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's not just entertainment. It's about professional access, isn't it? Specialized services, maybe. Just the general speed of modern life.
Okay, explain that a bit more.
Well, choosing the village often means choosing a slower pace, maybe professionally too. You might not have immediate access to certain niche services or specific types of medical care or career paths that need a big city hub.
So the price of that peace is often losing convenience and maybe some kinds of opportunity.
That's it, exactly. The ability to move fast, access everything right now, the sources are clear. You can't have perfect quiet and perfect instant connectivity.
You have to choose which loss you can live with.
You do.
Okay, let's flip it. Hannah's view. The city.
Right, she's all about the city.
She champions the energy, the speed, the bright lights, cafes, just opportunities seemingly everywhere.
Yeah, the city for her is like an engine. And it's fueled by exposure.
Exposure.
Feeding different cultures, bumping into new people, constantly having new experiences thrown at you. It's where things are happening.
That constant influx of novelty, that's the big draw.
That's its main value proposition, according to Anna.
But that city speed, that constant churn, it comes with its own cost, right? Especially compared to the village's social side.
Exactly. That speed and focus on opportunity, it can actually breed isolation in the city.
How so?
Well, people are often just so busy, so focused on their own thing, their own path, that they barely notice who lives next door. Or maybe don't have time to care.
You trade connection for anonymity, maybe?
Yeah, or you trade visible community for privacy. But that privacy can easily become loneliness if you're not careful.
So the synthesis here, the takeaway.
It's pretty clear, actually. The choice boils down to what you value more fundamentally. Is it that deep, reliable connection, even if it means things are slower or less convenient?
Sure.
Or is it the rapid, diverse exposure and opportunity, even if that means you might feel less connected sometimes?
That really clarifies the core trade-off.
Okay.
The deep dive then shifts gears a bit,
Mm.
moving from where you live to personal responsibility. And the example they use is adopting a dog.
Yeah, it's a seamless shift, isn't it? Because commitment is commitment wherever you find it.
So Hannah, living alone, potentially feeling some of that city isolation we just talked about.
Right.
She's thinking about getting a dog. She wants a companion, someone to make her home feel alive.
Which is a lovely idea. Trying to find a shortcut out of that potential urban loneliness.
I love that phrasing, making a space feel alive.
Hmm.
But David, the friend, he steps in with a bit of a reality check.
Yeah, he does. He grounds her pretty quickly. Pets are a big responsibility.
Not just cuddles on the couch, then.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
It's not passive. It takes real time, dedicated care, a lot of effort, and endless patience sometimes.
And he gives specific advice.
He tells her straight, do research.
Yeah.
And he emphasizes that every pet has its own personality.
Meaning you're not just getting a furry accessory, you're committing to a whole complex being.
Precisely, not just a fixture.
That sounds potentially quite daunting, a
Yep.
heavy weight.
It can be. But Hannah, interestingly, she flips the script on this.
How?
She doesn't see the responsibility just as a burden.
Mm.
She sees it as like a path to growth for herself.
Oh, interesting. Growth in what way?
She actually believes caring for a pet will help her build more discipline in her own life.
Ah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, it's a powerful reframing. It's one of those real deep dive nuggets, I think.
Because you're forced onto a schedule. Walks, feeding, training.
Exactly. And it's not for you. It's for this other being relying on you. And that can organically build structure and focus into your life.
Especially maybe in a chaotic city environment.
Right. The act of caring for something external becomes a way to build internal self-discipline. It helps her prioritize, stick to routines she might otherwise let slide.
So the pet isn't just a companion. It's kind of a living accountability partner.
That's a great way to put it. It's reciprocal. Her commitment to the dog feeds right back into her commitment to her own, self-improvement.
Okay. And speaking of commitments, and maybe broken ones, the dialogue takes quite a turn, doesn't it?
It does. A very emotional turn. David calls Hannah again.
And he's in a bad way.
Yeah, he's facing a real personal crisis, a really painful breakup. There was betrayal involved, cheating,
Oh, wow.
and he says he feels completely lost.
Yeah, that's rough. This is where resilience really gets tested, I suppose.
Absolutely. And Hannah's response here, it's kind of a masterclass in immediate emotional support,
Yeah.
like triage.
What does she do first?
Before any advice, she just validates his feelings. She acknowledges, yes, this pain is deep, it's real, it's natural to feel this way.
That's so important, isn't it? Just to be heard.
Crucial. But she immediately follows that validation with a really strong principle.
Which is?
She tells him, flat out, you did the right thing by walking away.
Because of the betrayal.
Right. Because you deserve honesty, you deserve loyalty. She affirms his worth right there.
That's foundational, especially when you feel lost. You need that reminder of your own value and that your decision, even though painful, was the right one for your integrity.
Exactly. But, okay, after the validation, the focus needs to shift towards recovery.
So what was the strategy, the practical steps she gave him for moving forward, for feeling alive again?
It was beautifully simple, actually, kind of captured in the phrase, one step at a time.
Okay.
And the actionable advice was very focused on, like, self-reconstruction.
What were the steps?
Read, travel, talk to friends, and take care of yourself. Just those 4 things.
Okay, let's break those down a bit. Why reading, for example? What does that do?
Well, reading forces focus, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Concentration. Skills that often get shattered by emotional trauma.
Right, your mind is all over the place.
Exactly. Reading makes you step outside your own churning thoughts, engage your mind somewhere else.
Okay. And travel?
Travel gives you new context. It physically removes you from the places maybe filled with painful memories.
Prevents dwelling on things.
Yeah, stops that mental looping.
Yeah,
And it just shows you physically that the world is bigger than your current crisis.
makes sense. What about the social bits, talking to friends?
That directly fights the urge to isolate, which is so common after a betrayal.
Right, you want to just hide away.
Yeah. Talking reaffirms your connections, grounds you back in reality with people who care.
And the last one, take care of yourself. Seems obvious, but maybe it isn't.
It's vital. Eating well, sleeping, maybe some exercise. It's about restoring dignity, physically and psychologically.
That's it.
Well, David felt betrayed, stripped of loyalty, Basic self-care, feeding yourself properly, getting rest. It's like rebuilding your own personal boundaries and self-respect, one small action at a time, day by day.
Okay, so that's the immediate strategy. But then there's a longer-term view, isn't there? Moving beyond just coping towards actual resilience.
Yes. And the sources touch on this through two uh, quite profound bits of wisdom Hannah shares.
What are they?
First, the classic idea that time heals everything.
Which can sometimes feel a bit dismissive when you're hurting.
It can. But the way it's framed here isn't about forgetting. It's not erasure.
What is it then?
It's about time allowing for processing, for integrating the lesson from the experience, for rebuilding a life that acknowledges what happened but isn't solely defined by it. That's what healing means here.
Okay, that makes more sense. Processing and integrating. And the second piece of wisdom.
This one's powerful. Sometimes broken things make us stronger.
That's a really interesting concept. How does that apply to David?
Well, it speaks directly to what psychologists call post-traumatic growth.
Okay.
David experienced this major breach of trust, right? But the act of walking away, that demonstrates his clarity about his own values. Honesty, loyalty.
So the strength comes from the clarity.
Exactly. The strength derived from that brokenness is the clarity about what he deserves, maybe higher standards for the future, and crucially, the hard-won knowledge that he can survive profound emotional pain.
He knows his own resilience now.
He knows what he will no longer tolerate. That makes him stronger going forward.
So wrapping this all up, what does this mean for you, the listener? We've journeyed through quite a bit.
Well, yeah?
Geographical choices, balancing convenience versus connection.
City versus village.
Then we looked at commitment, finding self-discipline through caring for another, like a pet.
Responsibility leading to growth.
And finally, navigating that really tough emotional pain, finding strength after betrayal.
Building resilience, step by step.
Fundamentally, all these insights, whether about where you live, or pets, or breakups,
They all circle back to expressing and understanding your own core values, don't they? Your non-negotiables.
they help define the life you actually want to build, the kind of person you want to be.
Yeah.
And the sources wrap up with this interesting point about learning English, but it feels like it applies much more broadly.
It really does. The point was, the goal isn't just, listening or knowing the grammar rules.
It's about feeling the language and practicing expressing yourself confidently.
Exactly. And that's the final thought we wanted to leave you with.
This idea of confidence.
Yeah, confidence isn't just about what you know. It's about what you express.
So the provocative question for you is, how does that idea, expressing your thoughts, your voice, confidently,
How does that apply to all these big choices we've talked about?
choosing the city's speed or the village's quiet, maybe?
Committing to that discipline, whether it's a pet or something else.
Or confidently walking away from something that doesn't align with your worth?
The real deep dive maybe is always into expressing yourself, your authentic self, with clarity and with conviction.